What's going on, world? DS1 Ross back, back here. Sheep Stay Sleep TV, Sheep Stay Sleep Live. I appreciate all the support, all the love thus far. I know it's been a minute, y'all, but just living life, man. You know, having a lot on my mind lately, a lot of things on my plate. So I'm gonna definitely try to keep the live streams. I'm gonna definitely try to keep the shows, coming a lot more often as much as I can. So thanks for bearing with a brother. Shout out to everybody, man. The love is always appreciated. Tonight, we're going to talk about the concept of raising or maintaining. In today's society, us, I'm speaking to us, our people, black people, are we raising our children or are we just maintaining them? And what made me come up with this topic is the fact that I hear a lot of older people always complaining about the youth. They're always talking about how they're so wild, belligerent, they're crazy, they scare people, they're unruly, they're chaotic. A whole lot of things I hear. I hear a lot of that the older people say about children. And I always wondered why they always said that, you know, why they never say, what's wrong with your parents? Why they always blame the child for their actions? Because every problem or every action has a cause. Every effect has a cause, has a reason for that's happening, for it happening, rather. And it made me just stop and think and say, we need to start speaking to the adults. We need to start speaking to the parents that a lot of these children that's running crazy in the streets, just like when I was young, a lot of my friends that ran crazy in the streets and still is, they didn't come from good households. And when I say good households, I'm talking about households with the proper structure. They weren't raised correctly. Some of them weren't raised at all. And I'm like, damn, what what is the reason for them not being raised right? So lately I've been thinking, and I came up with this. It's the fact that a lot of these children are just being maintained. That's all they're doing. Nobody's raising these children. They're being maintained. And the reason why I say they're being maintained is because A lot of the children that you see running around out here in these streets and doing things, they wearing Jordans, wearing Gucci, they wearing Louis, they wearing Prada, they wearing all the exotic stuff, but they still are violent. They're still addicted to drugs, addicted to committing crime. A lot of them are deadbeat dads to their children. And it's because they weren't raised. They weren't raised. And see, it's because a lot of these parents haven't been raised. A lot of these parents are afraid to raise their children. They want to be their kid's friend more than their parent. They want a soft shoe around their children. They don't want their children to be mad at them. So what they do is they maintain a friendship with their children. And this is why a lot of the children are disrespectful. This is why a lot of the children are egotistical. Because a lot of them are just maintaining a friendship with their parents when it's your job as a parent to raise your child, not just maintain them. See, a lot of us is maintaining our children the way we maintain our cell phones, the way we maintain our computers, the way we maintain our cars. This is how our children are being brought up today. So they don't have any structure. They don't have any guidance. They don't have a vision for themselves. That's because they're not being raised. See, when you raise a child, you teach your children the intangibles of life, the things you cannot buy, the things that cannot be thrown away unless you throw them away and give them up out of your mind and your heart. See, the children of today are not being raised like that anymore. And it's because of the parents. It's because of the parents. A lot of these parents that are parents weren't ready to be parents. This is why you have adults participating in childish things on the internet, just like the children, because they weren't ready to be parents. So what they call being a parent is buying school clothes, getting haircuts, paying for food. That's what we think parenting is. That's what we think, or that's what we like to call, I'm raising my child. You're not raising your child, you maintaining them. So almost like a pet. Maintaining your child. You're not raising them because they don't understand what respect is. Because you haven't taught them. They don't understand what dignity is because you haven't taught them. Integrity because you haven't taught them. Strength, critical thinking. See, we like to tell our children, oh, don't be a follower. Don't be no follower. But how the hell you gonna tell that child not to be a follower when you didn't raise him to be a leader? When you didn't encourage him to be himself, to love himself or herself? See, you have to instill the intangibles in your child. That's raising a child. Buying video games, buying Christmas gifts, buying Easter outfits, that's not raising your child. That's not raising your child. Because when I grew up, there was a lot of us who didn't get Easter clothes. There was a lot of us who didn't get a lot of Christmas gifts. Shit, when I was young, I barely drunk juice. That's how much we didn't have it. You know, when I drunk juice, when I went to my friend's house, I drank water. I was a sugar water baby. I ain't have juice in my bottles. I drank sugar water. Water with sugar in it. See, I grew up not having certain things, not having the lavish things. But would I trade having those things for having the intangibles? No. Because when you have the intangibles, you can go out and attain those material things. You can go out and get it yourself. This is why a lot of our children nowadays are lazy. Because all you did was maintain your child, didn't raise them. You didn't put no pressure on them. You didn't make them work for nothing. They didn't never have to earn nothing. They just got because they was your son or they was your daughter. Every time they passed the test, every time they got a good grade in school, you going out spending money. So you know what a child start to do? They start to equate and confuse intangible things with tangible things. So they start to equate knowledge and acquiring knowledge and skills with money. They start saying, well, the only reason why I need an education is to make money. When that's not the only reason why you need education. That's not the only reason why you need knowledge. You need knowledge to survive. You need knowledge to be able to navigate through the world, to navigate through life. But we're not teaching our children that. You don't need to behave yourself so I can give you a bag of chips because you was quiet for the last 2 hours and you sat still in the car. No, you needed to do that because there's something called self-control. That's what that's called. It's called having self-control. See, we have to stop rewarding our children for things that they supposed to be doing. Because when you do that, you're not raising your child. So when you get a good grade in school, good, I congratulate you. But will I always go and buy you something you want now? No. May do it every once in a while because I believe in rewarding the child too. Because with reward comes encouragement. But the reason why you don't do it all the time is because then they begin to equate that with the reward. So I'm only going to school and passing because I want that new car. You see? We have to understand what we instilling in our children. Instead of running around and complaining about the problem, we need to find the source of the problem. And the source of the problem of these children is these bad parents. And I'm not going to just say they bad parents, uninformed parents. Because a lot of these parents think that they're being good parents. I understand. A lot of them think they're being good parents. But you know what shows and prove if you're being a good parent? By the results your children produce. What you put into something is what you get out, right? So what you put into your children is how they're gonna come out and be. You're gonna always have children that veer off and, you know, slip up and do certain things. That's just life. But if the things you taught them were solid, they're gonna go back to what you taught them. And if you taught them that you should do everything for a reward, they're never gonna learn what life is really about. See, like I told my son the other day, you just not supposed to get education from school. You get educated from life. Life is supposed to teach you certain things. This is why you have parents. We are supposed to teach you what life is about. And then you go to school to get more information about certain subjects that deal with life. Because life itself is school. Life itself is your university. We're in the universe. You have to understand that. And we have to begin to talk to our children in that manner. Because if the children is our future, then looking at the state of the children now, our future gonna be jacked up because the children are jacked up. And they're jacked up because the parents are. Parents are all jacked up because we too busy chasing maintenance because we haven't been raised correctly. Most parents are more focused on working and paying bills than raising their children. This is why a lot of our children are young, fly, and dumb. This is why. Young, fly, and out of control. And see, a lot of these children accept being that way because we're living in a world where That's what's promoted to us. In today's society, everything that's promoted to us is to maintain us. Fast food, Wi-Fi, microwaves, things that are instant, things that you could get at the tip of your hands. The process of things have speeded up in society. This is why our children want money fast. They want fast money. They want overnight success. This is why they are addicted to being entertainers. Because you can be an overnight celebrity, like Kanye West said. There's no more a real process of things. Where you're actually going through stuff, when you're going through stages. Gradual growth. We don't want that anymore. And then we cry about our children being messed up. We're not teaching our children what's right. We letting the TV raise them because we at work, getting money just to maintain them, not to raise them. Because you don't need money to raise a child. Because your child doesn't love you because you buy them things. And if they do, you're not raising your child. Your child is supposed to love you because how you treat them. Because the things you've taught them, the way you are with them. Them growing up and seeing that the things you've taught them actually was true. And it actually helped them. Jordans is not going to help your child navigate through life. Gucci and red bottoms is not going to help your children navigate through this wicked world. But it will help them look good while they're trying to. See, that's maintenance. That's maintenance. So we have to understand something, y'all. What is it that we want? What is it? Do we want to continue to raise or just maintain our children? What is more important? What is more important? Because remember, we like to say we can't buy love, right? But how many of us buy our children? How many of us try to buy our children's affection? Be quiet, baby. I'm going to go buy you a lollipop. No, how about we get a little tougher with our children? You know why I say why we got to be a little tougher on our children? Because the world will not have sympathy for them. The people in this wicked world won't feel sorry for them, won't help them make it. So we have to instill that strength inside of them. And the way we do that is put them in tough situations. You have to apply pressure. So sometimes when your child acting up, you got to strip them from everything you gave them. Let me get that game. Let me get that Xbox. Let me get that PS4. Let me get those toys. Let me get that cell phone. Let me get that iPad. And you going to sit in your room and read books for the next month. That's what you going to do. Because obviously, I see you don't appreciate what I've provided for you. You see? We have to teach our children to learn to appreciate us and appreciate what we do for them. Because as a parent, the only thing you really have to do for your children is provide food, clothing, and shelter. Anything else is a luxury. And we have to explain this to our children because a lot of our children have a sense of entitlement. A lot of these children are egotistical. They think that they deserve something because of who they are and not what they have done. What have you earned? I earned my first pair of Jordans. I earned them. I didn't get my first pair of Jordans to 11th grade in high school. You see? So we have to make our children earn things. Because when you make a child earn something, then they feel worthy. That develops self worth, which is an intangible. You can't buy that. You can't go to the store and say, let me get an ounce of self worth. We wonder why our children, the suicide rate is high in society today for young children. We wonder why. Because they have low self worth, low self esteem. But if you go in their room, it look like a goddamn playhouse. They look like they in Great Adventures of Disney World. But that kid killed himself because they had low self worth. You see? They would have traded all the stuff you brought them in just so they could feel good about themselves. See, we have to instill that in our children. We cannot think it's just going to be there by proxy. No, we have to instill that. And the way we do that is by loving them and always telling them that we love them and encouraging them to be themselves and that there's nothing wrong with you being you. That's what I tell my oldest son all the time. Stop trying to impress people. Be who you are. Stop trying to fit in and stand out. And if you're gonna be with somebody, stand amongst leaders. That's what DS1 is about. Determine successful ones, leaders amongst leaders, bosses amongst bosses. We all lead in our own right. We're all bosses of our own situations. Those are the people you need to stand amongst. Those are the people you want to develop friendships with and network with. You don't want to be amongst leeches. You don't want to be amongst followers. That's what followers are. They leeches because they're following you because it's something you have that they don't have or that they don't recognize that they have, and they're using you to have it. Be cool to you, and other people will find you cool. See, you can't pay for that. You see? I know you can pay for that type of information because you can go and hire a motivational speaker. But a motivational speaker is not moved by money. You see? They wouldn't be able to motivate you if money was their motivation. They're just getting paid for being who they are because they're good, solid people. So people pay them for that. But a motivational speaker is not motivated by you paying them because a lot of them was doing it for free before people started paying them. We have to raise our children. We wonder why so much things happen to our children. A lot of our children get molested. A lot of our children is being abused. Why? Because we're not raising them correctly. We're not teaching our children no more to talk to us. How many of us sit down and have actual talks with our children? And not the little bullshit talks of just what you want to be in life and how much money you want to have and all that bullshit. What you want to be when you grow up and all of that. I'm talking about conversations on how do you feel about your life? What is your concept of education? Why do you need education? Why do you love me? What type of parent do you want to be? See, we have to make our children think, critical thinking. That's raising your child. Because in this thing we call life, people deal with a lot of stress. But you know what gets them over? You know what keeps them going? The way they were raised, the intangibles. You can't buy charisma. You can't buy that. So we got to stop playing out here. I'm getting to the bag. I'm getting to the bag. The bag, the bag, the bag. Cool. There's nothing wrong with getting money. We're supposed to get money. But if is that what you all about? Is that what you all got to offer to your child? Is a couple dollars? What about them times when they need you, but all you had for them was a child support check? You weren't there. The check was there though, but you weren't there. What do you think is more important? When that little girl is getting touched and she need her mother, but her mother always at work. And when her mother come home, she don't got time to talk because she watching Love and Hip Hop and sipping liquor because she need to relax. So she ain't got time for her daughter. She don't even know her daughter just lost her virginity today. She don't even want to hear that because she got to go to work and pay the bills. So who's being affected in all of this? The child. Because there's nobody there to raise them. There's somebody there maintaining them. There's somebody maintaining them. There's somebody there providing food, clothing, and shelter. But who's giving them guidance? Who's showing them love and compassion? Telling them it'll be okay. Telling them that you are somebody. Who's there to do that? That's why I advise all the single mothers, because I just had a conversation with a single mother a few days ago. I won't disclose who they are. I don't feel like that's nobody business, but a sister emailed me and we had a conversation. She's going through a whole lot. And she's worrying about how her child is growing up. It's a boy, a son. And I told her, if there's no men in your family that can help you, you need to get your son into sports, self-defense. They need to be around men that are great role models, men that have the intangibles that can teach them. Teach them about discipline. Teach them about having self-worth, having pride as a man. Teaching them how to have mental strength. So there's no excuse on why we're not raising our children correctly. Because if you have some money, you can go and seek out the people with the intangibles. That's why it's always good to have certain, especially children that's missing a parent. It's always good to have them in activities, being around other children. teams, sports, clubs, because they're learning different aspects of life. They're learning teamwork, how to work with other people. When they're in self-defense, they learn how to have self-control, how to manage their emotions, not suppress them, but how to manage them. So there's no excuse, y'all. There's no excuse why we're not raising our children. There's no excuse. None at all. And I understand society has gotten so crazy now to where it's harder to raise your children because what your children see on a daily basis. So guess what we have to do? We have to take our children away from looking at certain things. And it's not that we're neglecting our child from certain things in life. We're protecting them from becoming what we see out here today. That's part of raising your child. You must protect them. And sometimes you got to protect them from the things that they love, like the television, like the internet. You can't totally take them away from it, but you got to let them know what they're dealing with and how serious it is. So you got to have parental controls. You have to block them from watching certain things on TV. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of us may think there's something wrong with that. But then don't complain about the children that you see running around in society. Don't complain about the sexualized young girl. Why she's so sexual at a young age. Don't ask that question. She's sitting down with your ass watching Love and Hip Hop, Housewives of Atlanta, Basketball Wives. Then you wondering why she grew up. When she grow up, you wondering why she's a single mother. She's 1 minute she married, then she get divorced. She done that 2, 3 times out of her life. She depends on a man to do something for her and not for her to do nothing for herself. She thinks a man owe her something. Y'all wonder where that behavior comes from, right? Y'all wonder why the young girl like the bad boys, right? Maintenance. They always want their hair done. They always want their nails done. That's why they love the drug dealer. That's why they love the robber. That's why they love the rapper. Because they want to be maintained, wined and dined. That's maintenance. But them same women who want that, they regret it when dudes start whooping their ass. Because it costs for maintenance. What you willing to pay to be maintained? And that's what's happening to our children. They're paying a cost for having all that material shit. And you know what they're paying with? Their hearts. They're lonely. They've been abandoned. They've been physically, mentally, and emotionally abused. But they've maintained. But they maintained, though. They all dressed up. But when you start taking those layers off of them, they're destroyed at the core of them. What do you think the big opioid epidemic is about? See, it's not just in the white communities no more, it's in our community now. All the young boys in my hood pop pills, sip lean. One of my cousin homeboys just overdosed from heroin last year. He's about 22 years old. He was popping Zans first, got locked up, came home, still had that addiction because he still came home and was around the same people. And it caused his demise, man. Couldn't afford to buy Zans no more. So he started doing raw heroin. He died. You think these kids are doing drugs just because they see Future doing them? No, they listen to the shit Future say. Future do a lot of those drugs because he's depressed. Because of things he saw and experienced in his life. So people do these drugs as a form of escaping, as a form of maintaining. When if we was taught properly, there will be a in there will be an inner mechanism, a mechanism from within us to tell us, I have to stop this shit because it's not helping me grow. It's not helping me rise. It's not helping me rise. And that's why we raise our children and not just maintain our children, not just provide the material things for our children. That's why. Because in the word raise, there's the word rise. And the only way you can rise is if you were raised correctly. Even if you had to raise yourself. Even so. So let's start raising our children again, family. Let's start raising our children again, family. Because they want us to raise them. Because they want to rise. They want to be the best they can be. So we have to encourage that. It's not just about summer trips, Disney World, this, that, video games, this, that. It's not what it's about. See, those are the luxuries in life. That's what my dad told me. Having toys is a luxury. Toys are not gonna help you grow into the person you're supposed to be. Cable TV is a luxury. The internet is a luxury. But see, society is making it to where they're making these things, they're making these tangible things, they're making our children think that those are the intangibles of life, that these are things you must have in order to communicate properly, in order to enjoy life, in order to be successful. When that's not so. When that's not so. That's not so. You see? And you could see it because our children are addicted to social media. But social media is supposed to be used to promote business, to promote things you have going on. But what is it used for now? It's used for people to communicate in an artificial way. When me and my friends was growing up, we didn't go to our friend's house and text them and say, we outside. Hit them on Facebook. We outside. No, we had to call them from the window. Yo, come downstairs. Them days are over. Nowadays, people won't even knock on your door. They won't even ring your bell. They'll come to your door and text you and say, come outside. I'm outside. Hit you on Instagram, DM you, inbox you. Yo, I'm by your door. Don't even knock on the door no more. But we talking about it, and we talking about and complaining about artificial intelligence. But we're giving into it because they have replaced our thoughts with the thoughts of the computer. Not knowing that we're the computer. We are. But once we start letting these things dictate how we live and how we communicate, this is how you have the sex dolls. Now they got sex dolls that can talk and respond to you because we don't know how to talk to each other anymore. Everything we do with each other is artificial. Now, when you got certain people that's talking in a certain way to you, you know what they like to call you? Oh, you old. Oh, you boring. You lame. See? Me and my homies is considered old heads because we're in our 30s. We considered old heads. But like I always tell them, you better be lucky to get to my age. And remember, when you get my age, the kids that were your age gonna be calling you a old head. In the same way I'm talking to you now, you're gonna be talking to them. See? So we really love our children. Start raising them. Let's start raising them. See, I even communicate a little something with the boys my son get on the bus with, junior high school. I speak to them. A lot of them are scared of me though. I know they are. Big guy, bearded man, deep voice. They done saw me checking my son a couple times at the bus stop, getting in his chest, letting him know the real. He's scared. But I'm never gonna be afraid to check my son. Because I gotta raise my son. Because I don't want to scoop my son off a cold ass ground with his lifeless body on it. See? So guess what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna even have to talk to the boys he like to hang out with and get to know them a little something. Because one of them might want to hurt my son. Because I'm teaching him how to stand out. See? So we even got to know who our children are around, even the children. This is why I like where I live at currently. It's a small community. And people try their best to communicate with each other, all of the parents. See, because no parent wants their children hurt. And no parent wants to see a child hurt. Whether they white, black, purple, whatever. So remember, and I'm speaking to us now, all of these children are our children. All of them. Because your child is growing up with them. Your child is going to school with them. So understand how important it is. So shout out to y'all, man. Um, I will be back again tonight. I'm gonna say around 10:30 with another show. So y'all could tune into that. I appreciate everybody for coming through tonight. Like I said, I know it's been a while. And I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna try my best to make it more. I'm gonna try my best to do more streams, you know, a lot more. And I'm getting ready to start doing a lot more things on my channel as far as showing my appreciation to the people who support me. So look forward to that. I'll be dropping a video about that soon. Not gonna tell y'all how soon, but it will be soon. So you will have Sheep Stay Sleep TV giveaways. It will be coming. Trust and believe that. you know, because I appreciate all the support and all the love, you know. That's from everybody. That's from everybody. To the people who talk in my chat, to the people who don't. Even to my super trolls. Shout out to y'all too. I'm gonna look in the chat right now and I'm gonna shout everybody out. You just coming in, hit the like button. If you like what you heard, if you didn't like what you heard, you can hit the dislike. I'm cool. But shout out to everybody listening tonight. Like I said, I will be back around 10 or 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock, who knows. I'm gonna start from the top. Shout out to Majestic. Shout out to Savon B. Shout out to Natural Brown. Shout out to Jarvis Davis. Shout out to my brother, the well-rounded Chef JT. Shout out to Akasha's Naturals. I got your message too, sis. I'ma fix that. Shout out to my Libra sister, Black Beauty. Shout out to my brother John Doe. Shout out to Green Money Lantern. Welcome to Sheep Stay Sleep, man. If you like what you hearing, hit the like button. You want to keep hearing more content, hit the subscribe button, bro. Make sure you hit the bell to get all the notifications. Brother or sister, I'm not sure. And shout out to Green Money Lantern. See who else up in here. Shout out to my sister Reign Supreme. Peace and love to Reign Supreme. Shout out to my big bro, Uncle Shug. You know what it is, bro. Shout out to IR brother Paul Light. Shout out to you. Good looking for coming through. Make sure you subscribe to IR brother Paul Light. Shout out to Lex Vortex from Vortex Media. Shout out to the Vortex. Shout out to my bro, Taekwon. Glad to see you, bro. DS1 is in the building. Shout out to the OG, D Red. As always, bro, it's always a pleasure, bro. Steve without the mustache, Harvey. Shout out to you. Hit the like, subscribe, stay in tune. Shout out to Ty Brown, as always. Shout out to Mama L. Shout out to Mama L. Yeah, reading shouldn't be a punishment, but I believe it's a good one. Exactly, Shug. It's a great punishment. Shout out to my brother, Dallas Skills, home team is in the building. Brooklyn is in the building. Shout out to my sister Kay Brooks. It's great to see you, sis. Glad you here. Glad you listening. Shout out to my brother Doug. Shout out to you, bro. Good looking for always coming through and supporting. Shout out to the Thunder God, Zeus Flippy. Peace to the Lord. Peace to the God. Speak your speech, real rap. Shout out to you, bro. That look like my man Megalodon. Shout out to Megalodon. Yee! Diz Nation. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Bay. Keep doing your thing, man. It's looking like that's about it, man. It's looking like that's about it. So I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. I really do. Shout out to all y'all. Like I said, I'll be back again tonight. I'm gonna say about an hour, maybe two. I got another topic for y'all. So just tune in and get ready for that. But let's begin, family. Start raising our children again. They need us. They don't just need us for food, clothing, and shelter. That's maintenance. They don't just need us to maintain them. They need us to give them that real and to raise them so they could be the best that they supposed to be. And also, we raise our children not for them to be who we want them to be, but for them to become the best person that they see themselves to be. That's the key. So shout out to everybody, man. I love y'all. Thanks for all the support again. Like I said, I will be back again tonight. So y'all just stay tuned in for that. I'm your host, DS1 Ross. You just tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Sheep Stay Sleep Live, where we advise and where we promote that we must heal before we build. Heal before we build. Because before we if we build before we heal, we'll just continue this wicked cycle of failure in our community. So let's get down to the healing and then we could get to some real building. Thanks again, y'all. DS1 Ross. Shout out to the Alliance. Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to y'all, family. Peace.